Let me put my reading glasses on since I'm so old, so I don't forget anything. Now, I had a lot of input from my wife for this because I'm sure if it had been up to me, I would have just rambled for 30 minutes. But Graham is not different from a lot of y'all in here. He was a middle child. And he used to lament about it. But let me tell you, I was the oldest of four. I'm just glad I wasn't the oldest of 6 or 7 because it would have been a lot worse. Because you're responsible for everything. So that right there cuts Graham a lot of slack, being the middle child. He wasn't responsible for everybody under him. But, you know, you're never happy with what you're given until you get older and you think about it. Sometimes you see things that you didn't see when you were younger. I think that's probably to the point. The Graham always wanted to figure out his own way of how to do something. And Nathan, being the oldest, we just, for some reason, I guess we're like a lot of parents, we were stupid. We thought each child was just going to be a copy of the previous one. But now, you know, if you think that, you're new to being a parent. And you better sharpen up pretty quick because they're all different. Sometimes you might have some more like the other, but most of the time they're still unique. And I guess I don't want to skip this part since my wife put it in there. I mean, my oldest son, he wanted to read so bad. He just was reading before he was in kindergarten. And Graham was a little different. I mean, Graham eventually, especially after Harry Potter came out, he had to read them all, nonstop. As soon as he got the book, he was going to read it until he finished.
Done in a day.
Yeah. So I mean that right there. He's going. Graham was going to do things his way because that's just how he was, and I can sort of understand that because I was pretty much the same thing. To my parents' sad awareness. Because I guess they thought I was supposed to. I mean, my father was one of 7 boys, and my mother just had a brother. So they were from completely different families. Graham and I, when Graham was 14, I don't know whose idea it was. It was probably mine, but Graham obviously, I didn't force him to do it too much. We went hiking on the Appalachian Trail.
Oh, that was your idea.
For 3, okay.
100%.
And I think maybe Graham was a little bit too young. He didn't understand what that entailed. I mean, when you're hiking about 75 to 80 miles at a time, over 3 years, it gets a little involved.
To be fair, we were both in the same boat on that first trip. We had no idea what was going on. And it was rough. I remember that. It was rough.
Yeah. But we managed.
Yeah.
And we didn't come away with any scars that would never heal. Although you did come close to some bears a few times. He liked walking faster than I did. And then he came back and told me about some bears.
Y'all know I'm like a quiet guy, so sometimes when you're hiking and you're quiet, it's not a good thing. You run across some bears that are also hanging out in the woods pretty quietly, and
Yeah.
you surprise each other, and that's
And I can't remember what you.
recipe for potential
I think you went across a cub first, and with cubs you have mothers.
Yep.
So he sort of came back to tell me about that, which I appreciate. But I thought it turned out pretty well. The only thing that was bad was torrential rains. There's nothing like hiking down a trail and you know you're trying to do 15 miles or more in the pouring rain. But he managed pretty well, and I did too. And I certainly wasn't going to give up, because that would give him an excuse. Let's see. I think, here we go. I got it unfolded. And whether, if any of you, Graham did, this sort of helped him finish his Eagle Scout. So Graham is an Eagle Scout. And if you're an Eagle Scout, and if you understand what that entails, either personally or because you had a sibling, that's something that's important. Even though, in my opinion, and I was a leader for a long time, the Boy Scouts, I think, are sort of doing the Girl Scouts, trying to steal girls from the Girl Scouts to be in the Boy Scouts. So they had to change the name to just the Scouts. I think that's a little underhanded.
I don't know.
But, but I don't want to get too far off track. That's what I'm good at, getting off track. But also, Graham had his own thing. He finished nursing school. He didn't quite do it as quickly as we would have liked, but he got it done. He finished. He got his BSN, which is definitely not the easiest thing in the world to do. So that's another.
Thank you for that slide. That was great. Love you too.
But Graham, he figured out a way to do what he wanted to do, and it might not have been the way I wanted it or the way his mother wanted, but he got the job done, and that's what counts. And if Mary can understand Graham, which I think she understands him better now, that he's going to do things the way he wants to do it most of the time. And
we're in that scenario right now.
And he thinks things through. He doesn't just jump off, try to do something without thinking about it. So if Mary can do, his parents have dealt with it and learned, and I believe you got it.
I got it.
So, and that wasn't too bad, was it? You're welcome. And you are pretty much like me in a lot of ways.
I love you. I love you so much.
I'm sure that frustrates your mother to no end.
Good job.
Got your can right here. Oh, can't wait.
Who's ready for a speech from a Republican tonight? Huh? We got a few of us in here. Hey, in all seriousness, unfortunately this room is a little bit empty tonight. We're missing, most notably, my father, Mary Casey's father, Robert Eskridge. And if you would, please join me in a moment of silence. Kitchen staff as well, if you don't mind. Hold the noise down. We'll have a moment of silence for Robert Eskridge.
crock. It's too long.
Pass that around the table,
yes,
please.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, pass that around the table, please, if you don't mind.
I need one.
No, you've got one per table, and that's what you're going to be fine with. Thank you. Is there a table that did not receive a page? Okay, no, you got one. Hey, all of those will need to be returned to Mary Casey and Graham for their wedding. But let's remain in silence, please.
Somebody fart.
Zhuzh.
Are you making a joke about waiting for a long time?
What?
You're making a joke about waiting for a long time.
I'm sorry, Mary. My hearing aids are going out.
Your speech.
Nope. Oh, here it is. This is where we pick up. Sorry. It only took Graham 9 years of wasting everybody's time and patience on him to proposing. So why not waste a little bit of his time? Just a little bit.
That's good.
Just a little bit of your time. And you know what? I have absolutely no problem piggybacking off of my father's death to mess with you about that. No problem. I will sleep like a baby tonight because of that. Because I can guarantee you he'd have done the same thing. So, obviously we're all here for Graham and Mary Casey tonight. And I mean, what a couple, in all honesty. You look at their track record. Graham's lived all over the country. And they have had a long distance relationship and, lived together or whatnot. Nana's not here. She doesn't know anything. Thank you.
It's Nana. But
Nana. Sorry, Nana. Not Nana. Nana. But whatever. Spectacles, wallet, and watch. But no, so they were in, where were y'all? Italy? Spain?
Spain.
Y'all were in Spain. So Graham finally popped the question. And I made a long distance telephone call with AT&T. It cost me $57 to call them. And I told them, I said, look, y'all go to the courthouse. I'll give you $5,000 right now for your honeymoon. Y'all go to the courthouse. We'll have a barbecue. We'll be done with it. And they said, no, we're going to have a wedding. And I said, well, if you're going to have a wedding, at least hire an auctioneer so you stop wasting everybody's damn time. We've only waited 9 years for this. And that got shot down real quick. So we're going with a full Catholic wedding tomorrow. But just for shits and giggles, let's see what you could have done in the last 9 years, bro law. Okay? You could have gone back to school, and you could have become a doctor, a brain surgeon, a heart surgeon. Hell, you could have had 2 kids, bought a liquor store, almost gone bankrupt, and then you start selling equipment on the side.
Tommy boy, huh?
Yeah. But, I will say this. Graham, this is your son. Thank you for the emotional support, Taylor. Keep it up. Sloan, you got enough antidepressants? Okay.
Oh.
I'm sorry I'm not the child that you wanted. All right, now look, y'all, growing up, my sister, she had my daddy wrapped around her finger like you have never seen. Mom and Dad had bought this big old house in East Memphis. and they had a garage. And above that garage, they had a playroom. And in that playroom had the biggest TV set that we had in the whole house. And it was the only TV that we had that got the Disney Channel. And by God, if I changed it from the Disney Channel when my sister was this close to the TV screen because she thought glasses was cool, she was like, somebody said, you know, if I sit this close to the TV, by God, I can get glasses and I can be cool, you know. If I changed it one notch or another, it was Daddy! And here comes Robert Eskridge, hauling ass down the hallway to tear me up. I still wake up at 35 years old of the sound of his belt coming off of them belt loops. Just walk in there, beat ass, and then ask questions. Not even worried about the truth. Just come in there and whoop everybody's ass and then figure out what happened.
I don't lie.
Now, I will say this, just to show you how much my father adored my little sister. Mother and Mary Casey, they had gone on a little girls trip or whatever, and they left, you know, me and my father to fend for ourselves in the wilderness of East Memphis with nobody to cook for us or clean for us or anything like that. It was just awful. And we got bored one afternoon and we said, well, hell, let's count up how many Barbie dolls we can find in this house. Y'all, I'm not even playing with you. We counted 87 Barbie dolls in a 4,500 square foot house in East Memphis.
Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie.
And hey, here's the kicker. There wasn't a single Barbie that had a stitch of clothing on them. Every one of them was butt naked. They all looked the same. They just had different color hair. Hang on, let me switch to page 2.
How many?
9.
You gotta have to wrap this up.
Oh, really? Really?
Let's have another moment of silence.
You want to have another moment of silence?
You get a page for every year.
Let's have a moment of silence for the ice cubes that have been melted this evening. All right. Now, Graham, I want to thank you so much for settling for my sister. I know she's not a first-round draft pick solely due to the luggage that she brings to the table with Exhibit A, her brother. Thank you. Yeah. A lot of you son bitches wanted to damn jump the gun, didn't you? That's what I thought. I'll get back to my notes, by golly. Hell, y'all caught me off guard.
Y'all clapped.
Anybody got some spectacles I could borrow? All right, here we go.
Impromptu claps is better than asking for it.
Damn right. Damn right. All right. Well, Graham, look. I know she's not a first-round draft pick, but, you know, we're all good. I'm glad y'all are finally getting married. And please, for the love of God, y'all pull the goalie, have a couple kids. You've been married for 8 years, or together 9 years. Why not? You already owe debt. Yeah. You know, have a couple kids. Let's roll with it, and then, you know, whatever. Now, Mary Casey, our father would be so proud of you. From the bottom of my heart, Daddy would look at you and he would just be in tears. You look very beautiful tonight. I've always told you look better as a blonde than you do a brunette.
So annoying.
You do. You've always looked better as a blonde, and you always want to go back to the brunette. But I will tell both of y'all this. Robert Eskridge would be so proud to call you his son-in-law, and he would be so proud of the life that y'all have built together. the milestones that you've accomplished before marriage. I mean, goodness gracious. You know, y'all ponied up on each other's credit. I mean, not everybody will do that for each other. I mean, am I right? You know, y'all bought your house before you got married. Why not, you know? Y'all have achieved many milestones already that I wish I would have achieved before I got married. But I drug my wife through the ditch and made her be poor for a few years. But everything's changing now.
Roll that one up, Kelsey.
I love y'all. You know, I hope that that the good Lord is in y'all's marriage. I hope that y'all bring me many nieces and nephews to spoil and show how to be a redneck and a Republican. And as soon as y'all get a house big enough, I'll buy you a gun safe. A gun safe.
Perfect.
That'll be y'all's wedding present. I love you. Good night.
I love you.
Jesus Christ.
Did y'all love that?
Yeah, you're fun to talk about,
All right.
I love you too. All right, here.
Good.
Hey, everybody, if you could get those pages to Mary and Graham by the end of the night.
Mary
Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom.
and Graham. I did this a long time ago.
Brock,
I did this a long
Brock, turn
time
the
ago.
lights back on.
Sorry, no, that was me.
Okay.
I get it.
Some
That was
shit.
me.
All right.
He was laughing at me. That's what. Your fault. My bad, Sloan.
Anyway, a long time ago, this is the story about Robert and I falling in love. And
Hear you.
you can't. Oh, and so we went to Natchez, and my mother was like, "Well, why don't you come to this party that we're having in Natchez?" And I don't have time for anybody that cannot hold his own at a party that knows no one. So why don't you invite Robert Eskridge? Y'all are just friends. And I thought, well, that's a great idea. So I did. So in Natchez, Mississippi, was when Robert and I actually fell in love with Robert. And he took me through all the grand homes, and he was just so fun. And most of you don't know, we had 7 dates, and then we got married, and no, I was not pregnant. We waited 5 years to have a child. Anyway, so we had these wonderful tin cups that we drank beer out of at this little bar at Natchez under the hill where everybody goes. And unbeknownst to me, y'all, I kept those. We were dating. So I don't know how that happened and how many homes I moved to and those cups stayed. For some reason, I think it's kind of a God wink that I never lost those cups. I never did. And so on Brock and Kelsey's wedding, I did give, it's Robert's cup and my cup. And I gave Brock and Kelsey their cup, but I also gave Mary her cup.
Yes.
And I didn't want to not give you the cup, but I don't have it because I was trying to get your. I know, and I was trying to get it at your condominium, and I couldn't figure out how to get in your condominium without you knowing, because she has to unlock the gate and she has to let me in. I kept saying, "Didn't you leave something? Don't you want me to bring something? Did you get shoes? Did you forget that?
No, I'm prepared.
Can I please go in there?" No, she had everything. For the first time. Even her phone. She had her phone. So this is all I have. So I went to Oxford Floral to give you this, and you can tie it on your cup. And this is your wedding, your little wedding tie. But that cup and that moment, your father and I fell in love. And I really want you to know that both of you do, it was a love affair that most people don't have.
They don't.
They don't. And it was beautiful. And y'all are going to have the same thing. So here's to y'all.
I love you.
I love you. I'll take it back.
Graham, put it on your head. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I want y'all to capture this photo in your mind.
I'll take it back and put it in your. You know what? You can put it in your
I'll put it in
pocket.
my purse.
There you go. Right there. There you go. There's your cufflink. There you go.
What's up, everybody? I'm Ian. I'm Graham's little brother. First, I like to thank Mom and Dad. Tonight's been awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's glad to have everyone here. I got a sneak peek at tomorrow, so Sloan, very excited. I know you are too. But the first time I met Mary, I kind of knew that y'all were going to get married. I know. And I was 23, very wise for my age. So I grabbed a piece of paper and I wrote down their wedding date. And I had to search for it. I have it here. It's a little old. It's a little, but y'all can have it, but that was about 7 or 8 years too late. So. But
I love it.
now, Mary,
Y'all are great.
the powdered sugar really just got in my nostrils, and I need to take a second. But future apologies to the kitchen staff. But now us Rones like to dance to the beat of our own drum. And you know, early on, we always have our own worries when a new girl comes along. But you integrated seamlessly. It was so much fun. You're always so easy to talk to. You're the life of the party. I thank you for that. Whether it was at a football game or just a family birthday, I appreciate it. Your self-confidence and bravery is something that I look up to because, you know, I don't have that as myself. A story from that is that we went to Atlanta to go to the Georgia Aquarium. Me, Emily, Graham, Mary, and my 8-month-old daughter at the time. We park at the top deck of the parking garage, go do the Georgia Aquarium, go do the Coke Museum, we come back. Immediate trouble. Can't get out. Now, us Rones, we love to assess the situation.
1,000 times.
Paralysis by analysis, if you will.
Yes.
And so we're sitting up top. My daughter, Ann Blake, is getting a little frustrated as an 8-month-old would do. And Mary immediately out the car. 2 minutes in, she runs downstairs. She comes back. It's 5 floors. She's like, hey, they're backed up with parking. We got to walk home 30 minutes. Let's do it. Now, me and Graham have been assessing the situation while she's been away.
The entire time.
Work.
Emily is worried about the child. 30 more minutes of assessing. We agree that Mary is correct, and we should do that. So Emily, Mary, Graham, carry Ann Blake back. I stay with the car. Now, after 4 hours, ladies and gentlemen, I am confident in saying I have seen hell, and it is the top of the Georgia Aquarium parking garage. Now, Mary, I encourage you to keep that self-confidence throughout this marriage, and I wish you the best of luck in streamlining Graham's assessment in decisions that come through your entire marriage.
Hold up. I do want to say, hold on 1 second. Let me assess this. Tom, I took that baby. I'm walking this baby back. No one's going to mess with me. And no one said anything to me on that walk back. And there were some sketchy people.
Hey.
No one would touch it. Good job.
Look, this is your wedding.
Analysis.
This is your wedding, but this is my speech, so sit down. So, Graham, you've always been there for me, whether I liked it or not. And all those beatings growing up, I'm sure they made me stronger. Some of the Oxford people here probably participated in that. And I'm sure it wasn't easy having a younger brother that was 4 years younger, trying to do everything you wanted to do, hang out with your friends, be your little shadow. And I learned a lot from you, all your successes and failures. And I really, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you so much for going first through high school. Because by the time I came through, Mom and Dad were so tired that discipline train had just left the station. And I got away with anything I wanted to get away with. But
You forget he went second through high school.
yeah, again,
While for us to get tired.
but you've always had my back, and there's no better story than this than the 2018 Egg Bowl. Need I remind you, both teams were not great. Early on, it was back and forth, 4 and out, 4 and out. The punter, our punter, Reb's punter, shanks a punt in our own 50. They score immediately. I start chirping the punter. You suck, yada, yada. He can't hear me. I was overserved, but that wasn't my fault. That was Matt Luke's fault because we were 5 and 6 at the time. So, not a big deal. It is what it is. We go down 7-0. And I got the attention of this couple in front of us that keeps looking back at us. Who cares? Not a big deal. We keep watching the game. He shanks another punt. They score again. I immediately just lose it. Say things I shouldn't say. It is what it is. And the gentleman in front of us turns around and says, "Hey, please stop talking that way. That's my son." Before I can say a word, Graham, who's been silent all game, points at him and says, "My brother will stop talking shit when your son stops shanking punts." So we ultimately lose the game. We lose the game 35-3. Not a big deal. Whatever. The next year, the Ole Miss media department does this week by week stuff. It's the next season from the punt thing. They do it's called The Season. It's a 30-minute thing. They do a highlight of each game, and then before that, they do a player profile. They talk about their background, yada yada yada. We win the game, so I'm watching the highlights to relive that high. And lo and behold, it's the punter from last season. And they do a special on how all summer long, after he shanked those punts, he had raised $200,000 for the ALS Research Foundation that he donated. And Graham, I don't know if you know that, but when we are old and gray and we're heading towards the light, there's a very good chance that me and you wake up and it's going to look like the top deck of that Atlanta, Georgia plane. And I say that because we gotta work on some good stuff before that. But I love you both. Mary, if Graham is as half as good of a husband as he has been a brother, you're in for a wonderful life. He turned out to be good. I think he's like All-American the next year.
Bro, we've saved ALS lives.
I know.
I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet like I am compared with the other brothers.
The last brother.
You could categorize all of us with 3 words: intelligence, strength, and charm.
Yes.
Of course.
We've all got a little bit of each, but like Captain America or what, the environmental guy,
Captain Planet.
Captain Planet. When our powers combine, we are greater. Graham and Ian, I am sorry You are looking at the king of the torturers in the family. I will probably regret for the rest of my life the bullying that I did to both of them growing up. But I'm pretty sure it made them stronger men than I am. Graham and Ian are wonderful guys. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to see all of you. And I want you to know that I'm making all of this up. This is all improv. Because to be genuine is better than a plan. It comes from the heart. I want y'all all to know that. I'm happy to be here. I was so mean to them growing up. I could tell y'all stories. I'll share one and keep it as appropriate as possible.
Please, please.
Legos used to be the key to the locks in the house. Those little lances, you could stick it in the hole in the door, and you could break in when they were in the bathroom. In some compromising positions. Enhanced interrogation is something that was a political controversy for a period in our recent history. And I'm pretty sure that if the federal government knew about what I did to both of them growing up, I would also be in Guantanamo Bay. But while I might regret that, there is not a love stronger than what I have for my brothers. There's not a friend in the world that I would consider better than my brothers. And I'm happy to see Graham and Mary where they are now. It's been a long time coming. But patience is a virtue. And while I didn't know, I knew where we would all end up here tonight. But waiting for something great is better than getting something less faster.
That's so true, Nathan. Thank you.
So I'd like to make you laugh more, but as I said, I'm short and I'm sweet. So I'm done. Graham, Mary Casey.
Hi, everyone.
Get right there.
Okay. I'm just going to speak to y'all. I'm going to stay right here because I get nervous. But my name is Lauren, and I'm one of Mary Casey's friends. Actually, we were doing the math. It's been 28 years. 28 years.
I lie. Yes. You smell like a spray tan. I do too.
You smell amazing. But
Y'all look great.
I smell like a spray tan too. I got one.
well, first off, I'm extremely thankful to be here. And there's amazing people here tonight that love Mary and love Graham. And it's just such a blessed evening. And I've been waiting for this moment, first off. Let's just get real. Ever since I was a little girl, and Mary has too. We've been playing Barbies. We have extremely been focused on, having a husband one day and falling in love and Mary the other day, I called her and I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be such an amazing time. It's going to be so blessed. But first off, I just want to talk about Mary, and then I want to talk about Graham, and I want to talk about both of them. First off, I'm really thankful for Mary, and I know a lot of us here are thankful for her and her strength and her love that she gives to us and her friendship. So I thank you, Mary, for that, and I thank you just for continuing to just love me as a friend, even in the midst of my past, But anyways, I don't care. I'm not really. I don't really want to talk to everyone. Anyways, I just want to talk to you, Mary. All right. Bye. Okay, Mary. I'm so thankful for you.
So thankful for you.
I wouldn't be where I'm at today without you. Not losing hope.
Love you.
You know what that means. You are like a sister to me. And I'm just really thankful to be here and be a part of this. And this is one of the biggest moments that you'll ever have in your life. One of the biggest moments. And just the most wonderful people here where you can be in gratitude and really feel like God's loving presence. And so I'm just extremely honored to be here and be a part of this and see tomorrow happen. And Graham, I know that Robert is here first off right now, and I know, the good Lord's here, and I know that you were destined to be with Mary, and I know Robert's behind this, and he would be so honored. And as a friend, I am so honored, and I feel peace, and I'm so thankful, and I know that Mary is in the very best hands. You're going to take good care of her. You're going to provide for her. And I don't have any doubt about that whatsoever. So I'm so thankful that Mary gets to go to you. And I love y'all. And, I just pray that God would just continue to bless y'all's path and bless tomorrow. And, yeah. Anyways, I love y'all so much.
Thank
I
you.
love y'all.
Look how cute she looks. She's like so beautiful, right?
Those of you who don't know me, my name's Tyler. I've known Graham since probably the 4th grade. I don't have any brothers. I was an only child. And so I think I kind of got a crash course on how to have one from you three a little bit.
Yeah, we beat up Ian together.
Yeah, that's right. It was a shared effort between the three of us, focused predominantly on you. You seem to have turned out the best, if I'm being honest.
You're welcome.
Use words. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Well, no, I don't know how much I had to do with it, but I know there's something. I did something. But Graham kind of taught me a little bit about having a brother and like caring about somebody else, because I don't have to share my time with many people, right? I don't really share a lot of time with Graham either, but when I do, I get to see what unconditional love for someone who you are almost contractually obligated to be a friend, right? He's put up with a lot of stuff that I've presented for him. Amen. Over the years. He's been there for me every step of the way, the same way he has been for the two of you, right? I certainly wouldn't claim to be a Rone, but I've been in your house probably more than the average person, right? And Graham's the person who brought me to your house. You guys are awesome, don't get me wrong, right? I'd have been there for the food, but I was there because he invited me, right? And you guys, the two of you have a son, right, who has found a way to be a brother to more people than just these two here, right? I'd say a lot of the people in here, right, find Graham to be a very loyal, trustworthy, strong person that they can lean on, right? And I think
Dan takes his damn time.
he's a patient individual. Let's be real. And since you brought that up, right? There's been a couple conversations this evening about how analytical the Rones are, right? I think the amount of time Graham took to make his decision was the exact amount of time that was required, because I don't think he was certain at first about this one. Right? I don't think he was. Look, I mean,
that's
you
human
all
nature,
been kind of
right?
teetering around this conversation, right? He had to analyze this one for a while, and it took some time, right? And what we know about Graham, and after the two of these gentlemen have spoken about the Rones in general, is that when they finally decide to make that decision, it's because there's been a lot of data that's been collected, right? There's a reason that they've made that decision. And I've gotten to know Mary well enough to know that he made the right decision, right? Mary is somebody that compliments Graham in a lot of the ways that I've complimented Graham. I am late often.
Yeah.
I'm
not late, really. Not
well, yeah. There's a lot of things that Graham is that I am not, right? And I think that Mary brings a lot of those things to the table as well. Maybe what I'm exactly professing here is my love for this man, right? Yes. I think that he makes a fantastic husband, okay? And if there's anyone here who loves Mary, which I think is the majority of us here, you should all know that she's gotten a great husband, right? Yes. He's taken his time. He's figured out exactly how to be a good husband for her, right? And just know that he's planned for this, okay? And it's taken him some time, but this man plans accordingly, right? He is a very diligent individual, and he's very selective. And I am honored that he selected me as somebody, right, in his life. I'm honored to know Mary. I think that she is an amazing human, right? And she compliments Graham in every way that she needs to. I love these people more than I can talk about while I'm standing here today. It would take too long. So we'll keep it short. And I just want you all to know that the amount of time that it took Graham to make this decision was the right amount of time. It was the right amount of time. Brock! It was the right amount of time. The right amount of time.
Okay, guys, I was not planning on saying anything
Mr.
until I got pushed into it. Woo.
Oh my God! Don't cry. I'm gonna freak out.
Let's start with a hug. Then we'll go downhill from there. Woo. No. So, Mary Casey, I've known you all your life. And you're nothing like Brock.
I know, it's so crazy. We're just nothing alike.
Brock is my godson.
So insane.
But we got two totally separate people here. You got Brock and you got Mary Casey. Most of y'all didn't know Robert. Robert's girl. Woo.
Yeah.
Go.
God. Woo. Yeah.
You just like it. You just like him. You think like him. You act like him. God bless you. Graham, you got your good one, brother.
I do.
Take care of it.
I will.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Cheers.
Just in case none of y'all met him, this is like my dad's best friend. So that means the world to me. Thank you, Mr. Wolf. God, and by the way, I'm gonna cry all weekend. Okay? I don't know why I want to talk. I love that you want to talk. But all of a sudden, Mary and I have a very interesting relationship because our parents were really close. When Sloan was pregnant with Brock, my mom and my dad they lived on the same street, but Mary and I didn't really meet each other or like really have a relationship until middle school. Why the fuck am I crying? I don't know, dude. Let's lead into it. But it's totally fine. But I think like really when I was thinking about it today, like I think we really became friends when we went to camp. Yeah. And we got in a lot of trouble. Actually, yikes, we went to a camp in Arkansas called Camp Bear Track, which is a super religious camp, and they like called our parents because we were hugging boys, and they were like,
Hugging.
We were like literally hugging boys, and they were like, "You gotta watch them. Be careful." That was like the most trouble we ever got in, right? Don't you think? But from then, we really, we're super kindred spirits. We didn't really have to be around each other all that often, but we really, had this pull to one another that I think is really, really unique. And I think that's something that Mary does to a lot of people. I literally don't. I think I'm gonna start my period or something. I'm not really sure. Listen, it's fine. I'm not wearing white. I'll be fine. But really and truly, I think that that's something that's really unique about Mary is that you're really, really drawn to want to be around her. She's very, very kind, and she's so, so funny. And I'm really funny, I know what funny is. So I think it was so fun to very indirectly meet Graham, and you've somehow kind of fallen into my life in these very unique ways, which is so fun. But all that to say, I really am so glad y'all are getting married, and I'm very lucky to be here. And one of the best parts about being friends with Mary is that in middle school she had 2 computers, so when we were IMing, she could IM in one room and I could IM in another.
That's instant messaging.
Yes. Oh, sorry. For the boomers in here, that means instant messaging. I'm so sorry. I just want to be really clear. And one of the things that we would say a lot, and I really hope you remember, is I would message Mary, "You rock!"
Yeah,
and
I remember.
she would shout it from the next room. So I just want to say, you fucking rock, dude. MC Hammer! MC Hammer!
You were my friend.
Thank you.